Here's how you can make 500 wheel horsepower on your S650 Mustang GT. Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Today we're going to be talking about how to make 500 wheel horsepower in your S650 Mustang. We've got two different routes we can go with it, so we're going to talk about both of the routes in terms of how you can get to the 500 wheel horsepower in your Mustang, and how much it's also going to cost you to be able to get to that level. And lastly, we're going to touch on if it's worth doing this route or should you just save it for boost if power is your ultimate goal. With that being said, let's dive right into the video in terms of how you can make 500 rear wheel horsepower on your S650 Mustang GT. So now I've made a previous video where we talked about 500 crank horsepower, which was not a big task because you're starting off with 480 or 486 horsepower, depending if you have the active exhaust or not. So to get to that 500 horsepower was pretty simple. But in this video, we're talking about the rear wheel horsepower. So if you take the active exhaust Mustang GT that starts off at 486 crank horsepower, you're going to see roughly stock dyno around 425 rear wheel horsepower. Sometimes we'll read a little bit lower, sometimes we'll read a little bit higher. Again, the dyno is pretty much a tuning tool and can be manipulated as such, so just take it with a grain of salt. For purpose of this video, the stock Mustang GT with the active exhaust makes about 425 rear wheel horsepower, which has been proven by many dynos and accounts for about 12% drivetrain loss from the stock crank horsepower number. So how do you go from 425 all the way to 500 rear wheel horsepower? It sounds like a pretty big jump because you're talking about 75 horsepower, but trust me, Mustang makes it very easy to do so. So let's talk about it. Now, first thing you're going to want to do is get a 93 octane tune. If you're going with any of the bigger vendors like the Lund Racing, Shoemaker, Wenger, all of them are going to be reliable sources of getting your 93 tune, and they're going to post relatively similar gains in terms of the horsepower numbers. On average, we see about 20 rear wheel horsepower just from a 93 tune. So you're going to go from 425 to 445 horsepower with just a tune only. And that is pretty impressive, all things considered, because you haven't even touched any of the bolt-ons. When you go from 425 to 445, you haven't added any mods, you can still bump it up even more just with tuning, and that is going to be with the E85 tune. So if you get the E85 tune, you're going to get about another 20 wheel horsepower on top of the 93 octane tune. So you're going to get about 40 in total, which will bring you right around 465 horsepower to the wheels. And that is, to me, again, very impressive. You haven't added any bolt-ons. You're pretty much going to be tune-only car at this point. And the cost of the tune, honestly, is going to be around $1,000 depending on which tuner you go with. That includes the E85 tune. So right for about $1,000 or so, you're already at 40 plus horsepower at the wheels and about 465. Now this is going to be the next big step to really get you over at that 500 rear wheel horsepower mark, and that is going to be long tube headers. Now that is going to be one of the touchy subjects because headers can range from $700 headers all the way to Cook's headers for $3,000, and some of the middle ground like the stainless power, stainless works headers for right about $1,500 or so. And headers are a pain to install on these Mustangs, so you're going to be paying a pretty penny if you go to a shop, or if you're going to be doing it yourself, you're going to be cursing a lot doing these headers. But headers themselves, they are going to free up about 35 wheel horsepower, especially if you have E85. It's definitely going to work a lot better than 93, but at least you're going to see a 35 horsepower bump at the wheels. And with that bump, you're already at 500 rear wheel horsepower on your Mustang GT. Now, like I said, it's going to be pretty costly even if you go from middle of the ground headers for about $1,500, and let's say you pay a shop, you're going to pay them at least $700-800 to get the installation in. So you're looking at about $2,200-3,300. And then we talked about the tune before, which is going to get you to the about $3,300 in total cost to get a 500 rear wheel horsepower Mustang GT, which honestly is not terrible. It's not as good as some of the turbo cars we have seen where you just do one flash and you're already at 100 plus horsepower. But it's pretty impressive to be able to get to those numbers without changing extensive modification, just the headers and just the tune only car. So now obviously the biggest thing in this route is going to be E85. Not everyone has E85 or at least good quality E85 available near them. So what do you do then? So that is going to be my second route, where let's assume we don't have E85 available, how we can get to it, to the 500 horsepower, the rear wheel horsepower number without breaking the bank. So start off with the 93 tune for 20 horsepower. Now you can remove the carbon trap removal from the intake system. That is going to free another 10 horsepower or so, and it's completely free to do so. So you're right around about $700 to $800 with the 93 tune, and this is free, so you get 10 more horsepower, coming to right around 455 horsepower. But we're still 45 short, which we'll get to in a bit. Now, obviously, the headers are still going to play a big portion in terms of how we can get to that number, because as you can see, the headers really free up a lot of horsepower in these S650 Mustangs. So if you go for the headers, let's say the same header setup as before, you're going to see another 35 horsepower increase. So with that, you're right around 490 horsepower. But because we don't have E85, we're 10 rear wheel horsepower short to be able to get the 500 horsepower. But luckily, there are things you can do to still be able to manage to get the 500 rear wheel horsepower just on 93 octane, which is pretty impressive, all things considered. Now, with this route, you're going to need 2 more mods that will add just a little bit more power, but it will get you over that 500 wheel horsepower mark. So if that's your thing where you want to be able to say, I've got a 500 rear wheel horsepower Mustang, that's what you're going to do. You're going to go ahead and get Resident Air Delete, either get an X-Pipe or H-Pipe, which will free about 5 horsepower or so. Nothing you're going to really feel, but if you're just chasing that number, you should be able to get to that 495 horsepower. And lastly, the intake system. Now, the intakes are pretty good on these cars. Even the S650 is pretty good air intake system. But if you go ahead and get a new intake system, you might feel another 5 horsepower or so. Again, nothing you're going to feel, probably not down low. It's going to be high up top. But if you're just chasing a number, those 5 and 5 will get you the 10 horsepower that is needed to go from 490 all the way to 500 rear wheel horsepower. Now, in terms of the cost, it's pretty much going to be same cost as the E85 route. The only difference is the E85 tunes tend to be around $250 or so. So here, if you get a X-Pipe or H-Pipe, which is around $150, $200, then you get an intake, which is $400 to $500. You're going to pay a little bit more, obviously, to get to that number, but it's not significantly more. And of course, if you don't have E85 available, that is your only route that you can go with it. Now, 500 wheel horsepower may not sound like much, especially when you go to social media, people are building 700, 800 horsepower cars. You have to remember it's a rear wheel drive car, so the traction is going to be limited, even if you're at the track or you're running a drag pack. So 500 is plenty to have fun in the street and even at the drag strip, which basically translates to about 570, 575 horsepower at the crank, which is pretty impressive in my opinion. Now, is it worth going this route or just saving up for the boost? Like I mentioned earlier in the video, that really depends on how you drive your car, because with the boost, you've got the traction issues, you've got axle issues, you've got a bunch of other things you have to consider with. Versus this route is NA, you can kind of build as you go, you don't have to save up front, and you'll have a plenty fast car compared to going the boost route. But of course, if we're looking at just the boost route, for about $8,000 with the ESS kit being installed, you're looking at almost 670 to 700 wheel horsepower without any of the supporting mods. Just the boost, about 8 grand. So it is 5 grand more, but you do get a lot more bang for your buck, because you're going from 500 to almost 700 horsepower, which is a 200 horsepower bump to be able to get that, which obviously is pretty impressive. So if that's your route you want to take, you can definitely save for a boost, but there's ways to go NA route and still have fun with your car, whether you've got 93 or E85. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video in terms of how you can make 500 rear wheel horsepower in your S650 Mustang GT. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to smash the like button, comment below what are your power goals for your S650 Mustang, and of course, subscribe to Red 50 for more videos.